Let's be honest. Think back to the very start of the year. Did you go out and buy one of those pristine, highly structured daily planners? Absolutely convinced that this was going to be the year you finally got your entire life perfectly organized? Yeah, and let me guess, by mid-February it was just sitting there gathering dust on your nightstand, basically acting as a daily reminder of a routine you couldn't keep up with. Look, it happens to the absolute best of us. But in today's explainer, we're going to look at a completely different, entirely guilt-free way to actually build a daily routine. We're exploring a system that relies on gratitude and flexibility rather than rigid scheduling and shame.
We're jumping right into this quote because honestly, it completely reframes how we even think about organization. The big foundational idea here, which comes directly from our source material, is that most routines fail because they demand absolute perfection. They're built for brains that just love strict, unyielding structure. But what if your brain doesn't work that way? What if instead your brain is wired for quick leaps, shifting energy, and sudden bursts of focus? Well, by acknowledging that traditional methods actually fight against certain brain types, we can start to build a routine that actually supports us.
The Focus and Flourish planner was specifically designed for teens whose brains run on dopamine, hyperfocus, and those creative leaps we just talked about. But honestly, the core principles inside are a literal masterclass for anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by a massive to-do list. It recognizes a fundamental truth. If your motivation is fueled by dopamine, that chemical reward in your brain, then your daily routine actually needs to generate that reward, not drain it dry.
Traditional, rigid schedules literally fight you. They demand you shrink yourself to fit into their tiny little boxes. So instead, we're looking at a dopamine-friendly routine that's designed to help you grow your own way. We're tossing out that exhausting hour-by-hour itinerary and replacing it with a flexible, gratitude-based system. It's all about creating small, achievable wins that give your brain the positive chemical feedback it desperately needs to keep going.
Part 1. The Morning Launch, Priming for Positivity. Every good routine needs a solid starting point. How you energetically launch your morning really dictates the trajectory of your entire day.
So, instead of waking up to a terrifying list of chores, the core engine of this routine relies on an incredibly simple twice-a-day method. You touch base in the morning and you touch base in the evening. That's literally it. It's a low-pressure system deliberately designed to prevent you from feeling overwhelmed. You don't need to carry a book around with you all day or meticulously track every 15-minute increment. You're just creating two small, meaningful anchors.
Let's break down that morning anchor first. The very first prompt you'll see in the Daily Gratitude Journal is simply today's intention. Think about how powerful that is for a second. Setting a single, clear intention before anything else happens primes your brain for the day ahead. You aren't committing to 20 different tasks. You're just choosing one guiding focus. It creates direction without the paralyzing stress of a massive to-do list. It's really about choosing your mindset before the world chooses it for you.
And right below that intention, you're asked to list 3 things you're grateful for this morning. Now, this isn't just about feeling warm and fuzzy. It is actually a highly strategic psychological tool. By immediately identifying 3 small, positive things, maybe it's a really good cup of coffee, the fact that it's finally Friday, or honestly just that your bed is comfortable, you're giving your brain a crucial early morning dopamine hit. You are actively training your attention to spot the good, which totally jumpstarts your motivation for the harder tasks you have to tackle later.
Moving on to Part 2, the evening wind-down, bookending your day. As the day comes to a close, our energy shifts, and this is where we slow our pace to reflect.
If the morning was all about generating momentum, the evening is about processing and letting go. So just like the morning, the evening routine asks for 3 things you're grateful for tonight. Bookending your day by hunting for 3 more positive things helps transition a busy, noisy head into a state of calm before sleep. And what's really brilliant about this is that once you make this a habit, your brain will subconsciously start looking for these 3 things during the day just so you have something to write down later. It literally changes how you filter your daily experiences.
Then comes the final daily prompt, and it's this really wonderful question. What was your favorite moment today? I want you to take a beat right now. Just answer this prompt in your head for your own day so far. Got it? It's a surprisingly powerful way to actively seek out joy in all the everyday noise. By forcing yourself to single out the best moment, you ensure that no matter how chaotic or frustrating the day was, you go to sleep focusing on a victory.
Which brings us to Part 3, the safety net, forgiving the gaps. This right here is really the emotional core of our explainer.
Because, let's face it, what happens when life gets messy? What happens when you get sick or overwhelmed and this beautiful new routine completely falls apart? Well, traditional planners make you feel terrible when you stare at 3 weeks of blank pages. But the crucial point of this system is its explicit permission to pause. The source material literally tells you missing days isn't a failure. Just open it again when you remember. It explicitly tells you to use what helps, skip what doesn't, and come back when you're ready. This fundamentally changes your relationship with the routine. The blank page is no longer an accusation. It's just a welcoming, waiting space.
We really have to actively reframe this. In the old system, missing a day equaled failure, right? Which created a massive guilt spiral, which usually meant you eventually threw the planner in a drawer and gave up completely. But in this new system, missing a day is just a normal pause. It's a completely expected break. By totally removing the guilt, you turn a stressful obligation into a sustainable, long-term practice. You haven't ruined any streak, you literally just took a breath.
The planner actually closes with this incredible reminder: progress, not perfection. You did this. Every page you filled in, every page you skipped, all of it counts. You're moving forward as long as you eventually come back. That is the exact definition of building a routine that works with you rather than against you. It recognizes that true consistency doesn't mean doing something every single day without fail. It means never fully giving up on returning to it.
So forget the rigid schedules that constantly fight against your natural energy. Using the tools we just covered, look ahead and think about one small step you want to take next. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to carry with you. If you didn't have to be perfect at it, what is the one single intention you would set for tomorrow morning to guarantee a win?